Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Ananda, the Galactic Mystic. Let's talk about this really powerful full moon in Capricorn. Hope you are all doing really well. In full transparency, I almost did not make a video for this full moon, not because it isn't beautiful with lots of things to say, but because I am in a little bit of a hibernation mode. I say that, and I really haven't been hibernating, but I'm feeling this deep pull within. Now, that's kind of typical for Cancer season. And as I thought about this, I realized that it's part of the message of this full moon as well. So here I am. It's hot as 1,000 suns outside. OMG. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to talk about the full moon. I'll show you the chart. And then I am going to pull quick cards for each of the zodiac signs. So stay with me and make sure you at least check the cards for your sun sign and your rising sign and any other of your zodiac signs that you feel called to check. So first things first, let's talk a little bit about Capricorn energy, because a lot of times when we think about Capricorn energy, we immediately think of the mountain, the climb, the achievement. But Capricorn also rules the deep, dark earth, mines, caves, the cold darkness deep within the earth. Now, Capricorn is our cardinal earth sign, meaning that it's really the beginning of earth energy. It's that initiation of form, which is what Capricorn represents: form, the material world, and the initiation of that. And herein lies the sort of the trap of Capricorn, where we're not meant to stay there. We're meant to incorporate our understanding of form and the real real with quotes, solid form, 3D life, things that we touch, taste, smell, part of this matrix of reality. And so this axis, because it's a full moon, the sun is in Cancer, the moon is in Capricorn. So we have this axis of Cancer and Capricorn. And this is that relationship between the physical and the soul, form and the soul. So in a perfect world, we have a balance of this. We exist in the world while understanding that we are not of it. And what does that mean? What does that mean? And what does it mean that the sign that really represents our highest achievements in the physical world, our kind of cosmic soul description or soul job description, it rules ancient wisdom, the things that exist in those deep, dark caves that have been long forgotten. So what does it mean that Capricorn is both of those things? Well, it's the medicine it contains the medicine, because like I said, we're not meant to stay there. And Capricorn itself holds all of that for us, holds the now, the physical, but also the long forgotten, the yet to be rediscovered, not the undiscovered, what has yet to be rediscovered. So we lean on the wisdom of our elders. We lean on the knowledge of our ancestors, and we look to those ancient info streams, those streams of wisdom that need to be remembered. That's our medicine. So as I have been kind of wanting to hibernate, kind of tapping into bear energy in the cave, in the darkness, the incubation of the cold, dark earth. That I say that as if it's uncomfortable, but it doesn't seem uncomfortable to me. Hibernation in the cold, dark earth sounds very welcoming to me. And it's something to explore. I invite you to ask yourself those questions. What does it mean that the highest achievement includes the deep, dark cave of incubation? Yeah. So let's look at this chart. So here is our Capricorn full moon happening July 3rd, 2023 at 7:38 a.m. and that's Eastern time. So here we are. So here's our moon, our sun moon opposition. Our full moon is happening at 11 degrees and 19 minutes of Capricorn. This full moon is opposing Mercury in Cancer. It is also widely opposing Juno. I'll mention that, but it's a little too wide for that to be particularly notable. We do have a very tight trine with Jupiter, which is lovely. We also have the Sun and Mercury in a beautiful sextile with Jupiter. Mercury was conjunct the Sun for a cazimi over the weekend, and then they both sextiled Jupiter. Now, another major thing going on with this full moon is the square with Venus and Uranus. Now, let's talk about this for a minute because we are in Venus's pre-retrograde shadow phase, which means that this is the period of time where we're getting hints and kind of foreshadowing regarding what the Venus retrograde cycle will be about for us individually. So pay attention because this square with Uranus is the first of three. There will be a retrograde square with Uranus in August, and then a final third direct square with Uranus in September. So have your antenna up and pay attention because this is a classic breakup, shake-up energy, but that's not the only way that it can manifest. This is an enticing energy that can cause surprises or the urge to break out of something that feels really stagnant. Now, there are a couple of other factors in here. We have, cohabitating in Capricorn, we have Pluto retrograde, who is coming into a square with the nodes. The nodes are, oh gosh, there's so much going on. The nodes are wrapping up their cycle in Taurus and Scorpio. They will very soon, this month in July, they will be beginning an entire new cycle in Aries, Libra, and they will be squaring Pluto. This square with Pluto is not going to go unnoticed because, the transiting nodes are about all of us together. This is our collective karmic unwinding. So we can expect more themes showing up around what is preventing full empowerment. What control systems are preventing our freedom? And of course, this does play out individually in our personal lives, but it's very much on, out in the world stage. So we already see that going on. There's so much going on in the world right now. And also, the South Node has been conjunct the Shapley supercluster for a long time. And this whole period of time, especially when it was really tight conjunct around 2 degrees of Scorpio, I mean, it's just a gravitational force that pulls things up from the deepest, darkest depths. So with the square with Pluto, ruler of Scorpio, we can expect more of that. And that's going to be a while. That's a bit of a long game. Another really notable aspect of this full moon, of course, we have the trine with Jupiter that is a beautiful, uplifting blessing, but we have a sesquiquadrate with Mars, which is kind of like grinding the brakes a little bit. Now, this is a full moon, so it is, a completion, something coming to light. It's an awakening. And we also know that endings and beginnings are hardly distinguishable from each other because they are forever connected. An ending is a new beginning, and a new beginning cannot happen without an ending. So let's keep that in mind as we sort of feel into this full moon. And it's almost like there's a lot happening upstairs, and then Mars here putting a little bit of a whoa, Nelly, slow your roll kind of energy. And if you're feeling that, if you experience that, just go with it and know that it is most likely something to do with divine timing, that something is being organized, reorganized, or there's a shift in the road coming. And it will be easier to shift if we just kind of hang where we are for a minute. The Mercury aspect of this is, on one hand, asking us to look deeper into the soul aspects of what we are experiencing, to take it beyond just the physical. And if you're watching this, I know you're already doing that. Let's be real. You would not be seeking this information if you were not already doing that. But this is a call for everyone, even people who don't know anything about what's happening in the sky. It's time for everybody to look a little bit deeper into their soul. And this opposition is asking them to do that. And generally speaking, going forward, I mean, we are in the middle of a larger Capricorn cycle. The new moon, the last new moon we had in Capricorn was on December 23rd, 2022. So think back to that time. What happened? What happened in your life at that time? What was new that came in? This full moon represents the peak of that. And then from now until January, our next Capricorn new moon, which will be almost exactly conjunct Pluto, will be the integration period. So from now until January, we are embodying what has been happening for the previous 6 months that began end of December. So think about that. This is why journaling is really helpful for these things, because we can look back just in case there wasn't something glaring that is easy to remember. For me, that was when my partner was hospitalized and almost died. So I'm like, okay, that was a big event that changed our lives in a lot of ways. So I've been watching this cycle. Another thing to know is that this full moon is out of bounds. So it's not a normal full moon. We have connection and possibilities that are extraordinary. Watch your dreams. Write them down if you have any that you remember. This is, in the bear den, in the cold, dark earth. A lot of dreaming happens there. So we do have a beautiful fixed star involved with this. This full moon is very tightly conjunct the fixed star Alethfar in the Lyra constellation. And, Lyra, of course, both Capricorn and Cancer, this whole energetic axis that connects form and the soul, that's very birth, like cosmic soul birth kind of energy, isn't it? And it's interesting for this full moon to be conjunct Alethfar because, in stellar myth, it is said that Lyra is our most ancient origin for the 5-star human form. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it's something that echoes in our current collective consciousness. And so that's just an interesting tidbit to put in there when we're talking about this ancient wisdom that isn't lost, but has been buried, has been put away, and is time for it to be remembered, to be rediscovered. So the word Alethfar comes from the Arabic word al-Alethfar, which means the talons. And that's because the constellation Lyra was seen as an eagle by ancient Indian and Arabic astrologers. And the Romans thought as a vulture, which, vultures are sacred to the Egyptian goddess Ma'at, the one who weighs the souls of the dead against a feather as they are journeying through the underworld to the afterlife. And, it's interesting, whenever I mention Ma'at and the balancing of the heart with the feather, I always get people who come into my comments or send me rude emails that are like, how dare you suggest that I have a light heart when people are dying in Ukraine or children are starving, or there are horrors happening in the world. And this is a huge misconception about what having a light heart means. Having a light heart does not mean we don't have any worries. There are always tragedies happening, and we're not meant to cut off our feelings about those tragedies. What we are actually meant to do is to feel those feelings, to let ourselves feel them. It is the resistance of our emotions that creates a heavy heart. A light heart is complete with all of our parts. So whoever needs to hear that, I hope you are hearing this. This is a huge misconception. Anyway, so we also have a couple black holes. This full moon is very powerful. It's almost sneakily powerful because it's one that it feels like a delineation in time, like a line drawn in the sand where there's the before time and the after time. It has a very kind of faded, vertexy kind of feeling. So we do have two black holes closely conjunct this full moon, which just gives it more of that gravity, more of that magical birth potential of just the extraordinary, of things that we can't even conceive of what is possible. So with that, and in honor of our goddess Mott, so I'm going to pull cards for, I'm looking a little wild here. It's because it's hot. For each of the zodiac signs, and I'm also going to pull an oracle card from the Isis Oracle in honor of, oh, I didn't mention that, but we also have a conjunction with Sirius. It's 3-degree conjunction, which is the limits of what I would call a conjunction with a fixed star, but still notable. And we are coming upon when we will begin talking about the heliacal rising of Sirius. So we're going to bring Mama Isis in for an oracle reading. Okay, so Aries. Aries, this full moon is happening in your 10th house, which is the house ruled by Capricorn naturally in the natural chart. This is where your reputation lives, how people know you in the world, your career, not so much your job, but like your purpose, your highest potential. So this is big for you. Something may be coming to an ending that you were not expecting, but that's okay, because it's going to give you a new beginning that is very real and offering you unlimited possibilities. So your Isis card, look at this beauty, portal of light. It is only this physical reality that is bound by time and space. You are a conscious being on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space. You will not become ungrounded through such spiritual work. You're not leaving your earthly connection behind. You are merely adding to it. That is quite possibly the perfect description of this Capricorn Capricorn full moon, sun in Cancer, moon in Capricorn. Beautiful. Good on you, Aries. Let me know how you are. Taurus, this full moon is happening in your 9th house. So this is your house of philosophy, of learning, of teaching, of long distance travel, and of exotic people and exotic experiences. So you may find that you are done with a certain philosophy that you have been basing your life on. And if that's the case, that's wonderful, because you're going to be coming into balance, and there's going to be an opportunity to reap the benefits of what you have sown. This is, the Justice card has a lot to do with dealing with the consequences of our choices, for better or worse. It's like big girl panties stuff. Okay, so here's your card from Isis. Miracle of Isis. Isis offers a miracle healing. No matter how much you have struggled with a particular matter, no matter how impossible it may seem to imagine your life without this old wound, addiction, problem, relationship issue, or inner struggle being part of it, you are guided now to accept the possibility of miraculous healing. Let go and let the goddess be. Well, that's freaking beautiful. Happy full moon, Taurus. Let me know how that resonates. Gemini, happy full moon. Gemini, this full moon is happening in your 8th house. This is your house of transformation, intense experiences, sex, death, rebirth, and power that you share with others. It's also all the things that we don't want to see, all the things that we would rather just brush under the rug. But if you're brushing it under the rug, you don't understand your full capacity. In order to understand where, like, what all of your options are, you've got to pull all of that out so you can see it and look at it, turn it around, inspect it, and then decide if it's real or not. And it's okay to take your time to do that because you've got the world in your hands. You can do whatever you want to do. You just need to make sure you have the full perspective, that you're not fooling yourself or anyone else, that you're dealing with full reality. So this is your Isis card, Life Restored. Spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now. Whatever part of you or your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life, just as the phoenix rises from the fire. Transitioning from death into life, so too will you rise again, healed and renewed. If that's not 8th house, then I don't know what is. Good for you, Gemini. Take it and run with it. Happy full moon. Let me know how this resonates. All right, dear Cancer. Cancer, this full moon is big for you because it's affecting you personally and in your relationship. So the full moon itself is happening in your 7th house. These are your partnerships. This is all of your one-on-one relationships. This is also where your relationship with trust lives. A lot of us are walking around with trust wounds. So something with that could come up. It could be a healing. It could be something to poke at that wound so you can integrate more of that story or rewrite the story, however serves you. But it's looking pretty good, Cancer. I mean, there's a thing about Capricorn and Cancer energy both, and that is that it really matters that what you build is built with thought, time. Like, you can't rush, but there's also a sweet spot where you can't take too long either. So for some of you, this is going to be a culmination of something that you have been building, and now is time for it to solidify. For others, it's going to be a wake-up call about things that you jumped into too quickly. It doesn't mean it's lost forever, but it might need to be renegotiated. But either way, there is beautiful reciprocal love in your realm. And don't we all need some of that? Here's your Isis card, Key of Life. The Ankh portends new life being born through you now. This new life being born in whatever form will enrich your life, bringing you more into wholeness and fulfillment. Don't give up on your creative destiny. Stay with it. You are flowing in the right direction, and you have spiritual support from the unseen worlds. Let it happen. Beautiful. Happy full moon, Cancer. Leo, my love. This full moon is happening in your 6th house. Leo, you've been having a lot of changes in your career, in your job, and this full moon could be a line in the sand when that shift you knew was coming is actually coming. This also is a time to pay extra attention to your health, and something that you've been doing regularly, it's got to go. Time for a new daily ritual that is kind of leaving something behind that you know is not good for you. I love this card. I love the Seven of Pentacles. The seeds that you are planting now are going to give you, well, I was going to say, are going to give you a beautiful harvest. But the truth of it, because I got to tell you the truth, is that it's going to give you the harvest later, depending on how much you have tended the seeds that you're planting now. So for some of you, that harvest is now. For some of you, you're planting the seeds now, and the harvest will be later, probably around January. So keep that in mind. This card is about that waiting time, almost a little bit like incubation time, but it's not so much incubation as it is growth and tending that growth. I mean, if you plant your seeds and just let them go, they might grow okay, but they also might not. And would you even know what was happening if you didn't even take a look to see how they were growing? Food for thought. Your Isis card, magic and ritual. Effect in, oh my God, I need my glasses. I'm so blind. Hold on. Effect in the external world can be created through inner practice. Heart-centered ritual can support your inner path in the physical world. You are encouraged to enhance your power with regular practice as you grow in grace, love, ability, and wisdom, applying your inner beauty to transform your outer world. That's exactly what I said about stuff you do every day, your ritual. It's time to upgrade that. Happy full moon, Leo. All right, Virgo. Virgo, this, you see that gray? I'm going full Bonnie Raitt. This full moon is happening in your fifth house. So this is your house of romance, of risk-taking, of pleasure, of creativity, and of, you know, it's where we shine. It's where we receive. And y'all, you've been carrying too much. You've been carrying a lot because you're a Virgo, and that's what we do. But that stage is done for. It's done. It's done. Well done. Good job. Good job carrying all those sticks, way more than are your share to carry. So let's let that cycle be done. Let's put it down and have a well-earned rest. And the rewards for that will come. The dark mysteries. The dark goddess calls you to her inner chamber, where she holds a test and a gift for you. The test is your willingness to meet and release the fears within that have been secretly holding you back. The gift is freedom, peace, opportunity, and prosperity in all its forms. Will you accept her call? Your time for deeper initiation is here. You know something? That's a beautiful card. Sometimes, Virgo, sometimes you do too much, knowing that it's too much in a martyry type of way. Now so we know we martyr ourselves. Just because we can do more doesn't mean we should, doesn't mean we have to. Just because we are so capable doesn't mean we have to carry it all. It's time to set some of that down, because in carrying so much, we are preventing our own harvest. We're preventing ourselves from receiving because we got everything blocked by all those wands we're carrying. So time to knock that off. It's time for a new cycle of ease and rest and receiving. Happy full moon, Virgo. Hey, Libra. This full moon is happening in your fourth house. Yeah. So something is going to highlight your attention to your home and family, but also your past, your own inner child is going to come out to play for this. And what you say to them, to him, her, or them, will determine how this next leg of the journey goes. It may happen that something in your actual house, like something that needs to be tended to in the real world, because we are talking about this axis of the physical world and the soul, form and spirit. So make sure that you are touching in with that relationship that you have with your form and your spirit, with your knowledge that you are in this world, but not of it. How do you work with that on a daily basis? How do you live with that knowledge? Write it down. Write down your dreams. This could be, for some of you are going to be receiving direct contact from either family, loved ones that have crossed over, or spirit guides that have a message for you. So really be paying attention. Yeah. This is a fated change. So you don't have to effort for what's happening right now. You can let it happen, let it come to you, because we know the wheel is always turning and we don't make it turn. It turns in spite of us. It turns without our input or opinions. So when we're up, we know we're going to be down again. When we're down, we know we're going to be up again. There is actually no stagnation ever. So let it flow. It's going to, regardless. We can fight it all we want. It doesn't even matter. We're just wasting our energy. The pyramid of light psychic protection. As a being of light, darker energies may at times seek to interfere with your spiritual progress. There's nothing to fear and only more awareness of the power and protection of divine love to experience. The pyramid of light confirms that energies have been causing interference with your path, and it's now time for that interference to cease completely through loving divine power. So if you don't have your home gridded, it's time to do that. Maybe time to do an energetic cleansing of your home. And something that I sometimes forget, that I myself need reminders of, I'll give you a reminder, is that whenever there's an argument in the family or something stressful happens, it's always good to cleanse the house after that in whatever way works for you. So happy full moon, Libra, and let me know how this resonates. Let me know what's going on with you. Hey, Scorpio, happy full moon. This full moon is happening in your third house. So this means that something that you have been stubbornly holding on to as a mindset or a way that you think about things, it's time to break that spell. And also, this also is going to, require that you face some of those tendencies to self-reject your own softness. You know what I mean? The fact that Capricorn rules the third house of Scorpio tells us a lot about you, Scorpio. Tells us that, in your mind, your thought processes, you actually self-reject your own intensity. And it's part of the construct. It's part of how you're made. But knowing that that's part of how you're made is the key to making it work for you. Because the part of making that work for you is remembering that the way we talk to each other, the words we say, the way we say it, and the meaning behind it really, really freaking matters. It matters how we talk to one another. So this full moon is going to ask you to reassess your own relationship with the dignity of your words, the respect and humor of your words, because you funny. So I'll leave that there. Yeah, it's time. Swords represent communication. That's third house stuff. That's mind, mouth, business. So it's time to really begin something new and to let whatever's happened in the past with that, however you've worked with those energies in the past, let it go. Let's do it differently now, because it's done. It's done. Queen of Heaven, the Queen of Heaven, the divine empress of the skies, acknowledges your feminine authority now as a man or as a woman. You have a life path of spiritual leadership to bring qualities of mercy, compassion, and wisdom into the world. And we can't bring those things if we don't have a good relationship with the dignity of our words. So happy full moon, Scorpio. Let me know how that lands. All right, Sag, this full moon is in your second house. So this is very much about your money, your self-worth, how much you're earning. How does it make you feel? Does how much you earn change how you feel about your own self-worth? It's also about your own personal power, all of the things that you have access to yourself, the things that are yours, including your values, your self-confidence, and your trust in yourself, your ability to take risks based on your own power, not anybody else, not anybody else's input, not anybody else's help, not collaborating. This is you. So, oh, interesting. So there may be a loss that you are experiencing around this, a sadness. As I'm feeling into this, some of you, I can sense, have experienced a rejection of some sort that is affecting how you feel about yourself. Or this full moon cycle will bring that up. It could be stuff from the past, old stuff that's coming up now, and you're feeling that grief again. And listen, there's nothing wrong with mourning stuff that's sad. You're not a loser if you feel hurt when people are a jerk. So let yourself feel it. Let yourself cry about all these, until you're done. And then you'll remember, oh, there's more I have to look forward to. But it isn't about forgetting to cry for these. It's important that you do. So let yourself have that time of grief and mourning, of recognizing the sadness within you. It's important. Look at Osiris. Healing the divine masculine the divine masculine within provides protection, discernment, healing, and a sense of deep safety and holding, even through the most uncomfortable circumstances of life. Your inner masculine is going through healing right now, growing stronger in the ability to offer you inner protection and stability so that your inner feminine can blossom with creative expression. I love that. And there is something to be said for connecting with our own inner masculine and to receive from that part of ourselves. So that's definitely part of this for you. So happy full moon. Let me know how this lands. Let me know how you're doing. All right, Capricorn, at long last. This is, of course, happening in your first house. This is all about your very identity, yourself, and your body in a lot of cases. Um, you're becoming anew. This is a time of uh, a peak of some sort and something that is involved with your identity, how you see yourself, what you're doing. And you might feel a surge of energy during this full moon because it is very much, it's very physical for you, very physical. And you also may be experiencing an inspiration, a visitation, a message of love, of inspiration that is yours to take and run with. So this is interesting because while this energy on its own without this is very earthy for you, very solid, very much the physical, the form part that I've been talking about. But this brings in the soul, the spirit. Capricorn, you know how much that struggle of your own harshness can be on yourself. You know what I mean? That self-rejection of your water, of your watery nature. The true power of Capricorn energy must include water. It must. The goat cannot become the magical sea goat, the mer goat, without water. You are meant to walk in dignity, walk in synthesis of both worlds. That's what I was talking about in the beginning of what does it mean that Capricorn is both the mountaintop that we're climbing and the deep dark cave within the earth where ancient things are forgotten. For you to have true achievement, it's not just worldly. That's the key for you. So yeah, let it all be. Let the balance walk with you and let you have that integrity of your inner and outer worlds as you walk upon this earth for all of us to marvel at. Yes. Serpent of fire. Do not assess your current ability based on past standards as they no longer apply to you. You are stronger and more powerful now than you ever have been before. You need to learn afresh what you are capable of. That's all that needs to be said. Happy full moon, Capricorn. Aquarius, happy full moon. This one's happening in your 12th house, so you may be feeling a bit withdrawn for you. You may want to spend some time alone, or you may find that you don't enjoy socializing as much during this cycle as you normally would. Now, on a deeper level, this is the house of the things that we don't realize we're doing to ourselves, like our own undoing, the things that we do that are our own undoing. It's sneaky, it's hard to pin down, and it's deeply spiritual, but not always super fun. So if you feel the call to the part of Capricorn that is the deep dark cave, if you are called to incubation and solitude, go for it. There is deep and powerful healing there for you. And apparently some heartbreak. Now, whatever this is about, it is Cancer season. You could be feeling reminiscent thinking about things from the past. And the wisdom of this card is that, do we let heartbreak, do we let this pain and loss make us bitter? Do we let it close our heart off? Or do we let it make us wise? Do we learn how to carry our love and grief at the same time? Can we carry love for someone that we don't have in a way that feels nourishing and not all entirely painful? Past life, present power. As the soul grows in service to the great feminine and her intention that all beings be healed and free, it gathers internal resources to assist on the path. These resources include powers and gifts from other lifetimes. You are currently integrating past life abilities. Be open to what is taking place as your soul awakens ancient power and abilities within you. So what was lost and forgotten in the cave of ancient history and time now awakens within you. And sometimes it takes the journey through grief to get us there. So happy full moon, Aquarius. Let me know how this lands. Let me know how you are. Happy full moon, Pisces. This full moon is happening in your 11th house. So this is a culmination involving something about your hopes and dreams for the future. Could be that something you were hoping for and dreaming for is coming to be now. Could be that you are changing the direction of the energy flow of your hopes and dreams. Whichever way it goes, it's going to be a powerful awakening. Now, as you are either harvesting, enjoying a harvest, or redefining your plan for your own greatness, your own legacy, consider how much pleasure you are building into that construct, that image that you're holding in your mind. Does it include reciprocal pleasure, enjoyment, and nurturing experiences? I imagine that it does. This is the earth to your water. So this is that making, bringing it from the non-physical into the physical, which, I know you, Pisces. I know that you're perfectly fine with a lot of that existing in the non-physical indefinitely. And I get that. But some of it we need it to manifest here and now. And we also get to have it manifest here and now. So congratulations. That's very exciting and well done. The Chariot of Ascension, the Merkaba. A spiritual practice has come or is soon coming to your attention that will help your soul journey. Take your time to develop and practice your chosen spiritual discipline regularly. This will help you grow in power and grace, anchoring the spiritual light within the body of your soul. So this tells me that part of your plan for your hopes and dreams must include this spiritual practice of some sort that involves the spiritualizing of the physical. That's awesome. Happy full moon, Pisces. Let me know how you are. Let me know how this lands. And I hope everyone has a beautiful, beautiful Capricorn full moon.